Microphone check. Microphone check. What the heck? Microphone check. Where is my pen? Where is my pen? Where is my pen? Down here in the underground, Muppets and whatnot, in the underground. You could be an owl in the underground, in the underground. Meow. Hey, Pat. I think everything is set up. I feel like it's been 1,000 years since I've done this. And all of my settings were switched over to the Streamlabs settings. What is this? All right. I don't know what that means or how to fix it. That's fine. That's enough of this chill music. Let's start the thing. Start the thing. Hey! And here we go again. And also I'm here, and I'm, I got lots of things to talk about, I got lots of things to say. Oh, hey, Miles, how do you do? How do you do today? I'm the one who rhymes. You have no jurisdiction over the rhyming. Anybody can rhyme at any day or any time, except of course Drake, cause you know, that guy's the worst. That guy's the worst at rhyming, and he just kind of says 4 words over and over again for 3.5 minutes, over a beat. That's you know, probably really good because he paid a lot of money for it and had nothing to do with it. I'll agree with that. I will agree with that. My beef, my unrequited beef with Drake continues. Someday, Drake and I will go to war with words for some reason. I don't know. Just because I don't like his songs? Just because when the radio man says, and now another great hit by Drake coming up next on the radio, and then the song plays where you're like, why? Why is this a great hit? Why? This is the boringest, worst song ever, 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 ever. And then, of course, you know, all of the grooming. So much. Oh, I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Ah. Anyway, ghost faced killer. Not that Drake avocado shake, of course not. The war with that Drake ended years ago. I think it only lasted maybe a handful of times. At that point in time, I believe that the other Mike, God, that's a lot of mics. Why can't I remember his last name? Squirrely, anyway, was my arch nemesis for a period of a year or two or three. Um, every few weeks, we would talk about the fact that we should go to each other's offices dressed as a He-Man or a Skeletor and threaten each other, and that would be hilarious and fun. Instead, we'd go to lunch and talk about things we agreed about. I remembered his last name now. Just took a minute because I'm like, yeah, I usually refer to him as his last name, and everybody called him Squirrely, and I never ever did, ever. But I know lots of people know him as Squirrely, and that's all I have to say about that. Let's start the thing. How many mics? How many mics? How many mics do you know? Oh, this music is too chill. It's too laid back and too chill. Can't be boisterous and crazy with this. Not by any means. Oh, snaps. Let's make a comic strip, shall we? Go to the right camera. There we go. So, people in the world, laser sharks. So anyway, people in the world, maybe one ear I can pay attention to myself more, are annoying? They're annoying. Now, I've mentioned this on more than several occasions. How a lot of people just don't use headphones, and I guess some people are like, I don't like how it feels on my head, or I don't like how it feels on my ears, I'm not making the effort to find headphones that work for me. Well then, mics of the world, then you don't get to listen to things out in the world, and you have to keep your auditory amusements indoors and at home. Realistically, there's already too many noises out into the world for us all to be sharing your noise as well. Noise? Yeah, that's how I say noise, I guess. Borders on noise. So, sitting in a waiting room, waiting for things, we're all here, just waiting. That's it. That's all we can do is wait. I do have headphones in, and I think even I had my hood up. Just because it was one of those moments, I don't know if you're like me and every once in a while, if you are in a situation where you're waiting and there's just nothing else you can do but just sit and enjoy your music, or in an idyllic situation or world, just enjoy the silence. Just finally just take a few minutes to enjoy some silence and close your eyes, because it's like there's nothing I can do here except wait for my name to be called, wait for my turn, and you're sitting there in your own little circle or your own little area, because, still the end of the world. This lady pulls out her phone, I assume, because at this moment in time, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you take advantage of those moments to just close your eyes and listen to music? Like, literally just like, put my head in my hands and just kind of half take a nap in public. Like, that's not too crazy. Especially after a long day or / a long week, and suddenly it is like, hey, nothing you can do right now except just relax, just chill out, and accept that you can't do anything right now. But wait, like, all right, cool. Point taken, universe. I will just wait, because this is what this area is designed for, the room of waiting, etc. And then suddenly, with my head in my hands, I don't know the next line in that song. You see me crying? But don't speak! I know what you're thinking. I don't need your documentaries blaring out. Blaring real good. What? And exactly, Space Goonie, in my floor staring, that's what I'm just like, oh, in this little world, people can't see how open or closed my eyes are. I can just close my eyes. Or I could pretend my eyes are closed, and I could judge everyone's shoes. I don't usually do that. Usually just close my eyes or count the dots on the floor relentlessly. So I was like, huh, what is happening? Because, you know that thing, when you're shuffling through your phone and you don't realize that the sound is still on Instagram and then an ad pops up or what have you, and it's just like, IndyCar racing is happening Saturday on a sports network or something like that. Where it's just like, why is that even coming up on my phone? Doesn't matter. It's loud. It's in your face. And it's out of place. Jonathan Vo. I think Pokemon are amazingly designed characters, and it's a very good-looking show. Beyond that, I never played the game. Played the card game once with my little cousin, and I hated it because I didn't know what I was doing, and he just kept putting me to sleep with his Snorlaxes and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. So anyway, all of a sudden this just blah of sound comes out, which sounds like a TV show, and I'm just like, what? But then it goes off real quick, as you normally do, where you're like, oh, jeez, sorry, everyone. I didn't mean to make a sudden crazy noise and disrupt everybody in this silent area. They turn you turn your sound off. So it went off for like a minute. And then all of a sudden it was just like, I know exactly what kind of show it was, or what the show was. It was like, here we have the Johnson family. They live on 35 quid a week. And over here we have the McElroy family. They live on 50 million quid a week. We're going to swap places with them and see how these poor people get along living in this high-end neighborhood, buying high-end things with money, and how this well-off-to-do family does in the opposing situation. What could possibly happen? We've only done this a million times. And I'm just like realizing like, oh, she's just gonna watch this. She's just gonna watch this. Oh, cool. She's just gonna watch this. And because the volume went down for a second, then it went back up again. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just watching this. I don't care about anybody else in the world. I'm watching this. Oh, okay. Wouldn't you even enjoy it better if you could listen to it at your own volume in your ears? But yeah, that's me. I'm a crazy person. So, I don't know why I'm trying to make this even remotely accurate. I don't actually care. Whatever. This is going to be a rough sketch of Optometrist Prime. So yeah, I listened to the whole episode, of course. By then it was like, well, I need to leave one headphone out so I could listen for when it's my turn. So I guess I'm just listening to this. Also, somebody else in the waiting room somewhere else decided, oh, if music is playing or something's playing over there, then I guess I'm just going to play music from my phone. I'm like, oh no. Oh, am I gonna stand up and say something crazy? No, I definitely don't have the energy for that. I'm just gonna keep pretending to half sleep over here and just waiting. But here's the thing. It was like, that's fine. I was like, I'll half listen to this thing. No big deal. I'm gonna leave it without those details. But the extra annoying part was, while listening to the episode of the people who are trying to swap budgets, her phone, like, their Facebook messages keep going off. So it's just like, and now we see how is Mr. Johnson going to cope with only having, a pence in his pocket, whereas he normally has just an overabundance of bills. But there's just like an overabundance of pa-ting, and he's pa-ting. We see here pa-ting, that the pa-ting, like, I don't watch stuff on my phone ever, so I've never encountered this, but there must be a way. There has to be a way to not have your dings go off while you're watching a show. One, not even that big of an issue, really. Don't care, other than the footings were so loud compared to the show that it's just like, I'm getting hit with sound bullets. Just try to wait over here. Just try to wait and hate everything. So she starts answering them. How do I know? How do I know she's answering all the messages without looking at her? Cause like most people in the world, she has the typewriter sounds on. Why is that even an option? Why is it still an option today? It shouldn't be an option for anybody. You should have to get some sort of special doctor's note to be able to turn on the typing sounds on your phone, especially as soon as you leave the house. It should automatically just get shut down, because it's just the most annoying thing in the world, of especially ding. I thought we were listening to a show, but we're just listening to every sound available in your life right now. Fantastic. Put on some headphones. Put on some headphones. Please, put on some headphones. And then I was out of there. Whatever. You switched to this camera instead of the drawing camera. I sure did. It's nice to, get a little attention every once in a while, though. I appreciate it. But, sometimes I find it's nice that, you don't want to feel like you're watching a TV show alone. So, yeah, you just go somewhere and crank it out in public and, wait for people to pay attention to you. It's way easier than putting together a live stream, doing it once a week, and then hoping people show up. It's so much easier just to go to a, crowded place and just be louder than everybody until everyone looks at you. It's just, it's just simple science. That math does work. But, I'm not that starved for attention that I will wait, put some sort of production value into what I'm doing so I can talk at cats. It's amazing that, around here, it is very apparent that a lot of people are just not down with headphones, or never heard of them, because the amount of people I see walking around like it's 1984 with some sort of boombox from 1984, or a clock radio that you would keep next to your bed, just walking down the street with it cranked to the radio, no less. Not even you. That one has MP3 capabilities. I can see from here. It's got a tape player. It's got a CD player. How is it you are listening to the radio? What are you doing? Oh my God. Of course, one day I was kind of concerned, confused, just around the corner, like up the street and around the next street, there was, one of those clock radios on the street just blaring. And, apparently I used the word blaring a lot. I was like, oh man, like, should I call the police? Because this is like the radio of somebody that clearly like walks around listening to the radio that's just here. left on the road, or left on the side of the street, in a way that I would think that it's just like, oh my god, one of the radio carrying people was just jumped and murdered, and all that's left is their stereo. And I just walked away. Hopefully he was raptured. Honestly. At least, you know, probably what they wanted. And of course, the other thing I want to talk about for 19 hours is, I watched a movie. I watched one movie, and I feel like it affected my entire weekend. Went to my Netflix, went to play. What do you want to say today? Netflix was like, hey, excuse me, sir, do you want to see some zombies? Word. But no, I did want to watch the Army of the Dead movie, and my main reason was for Tig. I knew that Tig replaced Chris D'Elia, and I wanted to see just how well the replacement looks, and B, I just think Tig is great. And it's a zombie movie, so it's like it should be pretty fun. I didn't even realize it was a Zack Snyder movie until it was over, and I was like, somebody has to answer some of the questions I have now because the movie is over, and clearly there should have been more movie. And then once it was like, I went to YouTube to see like somebody tell me what happened, and YouTube was just filled to the brim with, let us try to explain what just happened because you watched Army of the Dead and Zack Snyder doesn't finish movies anymore. And I realized the last time wasn't his fault that he didn't finish the movie, but this time it's just like, alright, you have free reign to finish this movie, and you're just like, no, I'm gonna make a completely different one, but it connects. Okay. So I didn't watch the other one. So anyway, spoiler-ish alerts for Army of the Dead. Dave Bautista, whose name I keep thinking is John Batista for some reason. Surprised, like, he was amazing. Like, a really good actor. If these characters had anything worthwhile to say, he would have been able to do a real good job at saying it. Some of the characters I didn't care for at all. Doesn't matter. Basically, everybody dies for no reason whatsoever. So, problem one with the movie is, from beginning to end, it is 100% exactly like every heist movie, especially one happening during, like, oh, we're gonna rob the bank during this rainstorm. Oh, we're gonna rob this place during an earthquake. Oh my god, this is happening, but also the city's on fire. Let's complete this heist. And also Armageddon. It follows every single one of those tropes to the letter, to the point where it is like, how are you gonna get away with this without just having an awkward, terrible sequence, and parts where it's like, you shouldn't have put this part in there. It just makes it not even make sense. So anyway, the first point I get upset with it is, again, still kind of fun overall, other than it's set up like a video game, except we can see the terrain, so I know that you don't have to do any of these things. Once we get so far in, it was just like, oh, you didn't have to do any of these things. For a twist or not, it didn't matter. Why did you do any of these things? So you could have a movie, but when it happens movie style, it's still just like, well, what was the point of any of that then? So first things first is a dude shows up who's like, by the way, I'm here to keep an eye on you guys. Like, be more evil? Be more clearly the guy who's going to sabotage it? That's why it's in there. Good call. I knew somebody, most likely you, would figure out why I was thinking was Jean-Baptiste. That is definitely why, Miles. But yeah, so right away he shows up and is just like, this guy's clearly evil. So much so that everybody within earshot of Jimmy's dad from Raising Hope, that they're all just like, we should just let this guy die, right? Like, this is 2 minutes in, like, this guy, he's gonna get us all killed on purpose. Let's kill him and or let him die and just take the money. And the fact that they weren't like, oh cool, we're just gonna go in there and take that money makes no sense. The guy sending them to get his money from his vault, from his casino, doesn't give them a code, so they have to take a lock breaker, a safe cracker, from a whole other movie that isn't out yet, but I think it's out now, I believe. But at this time, it's just like, by the way, we'll explain this guy in another movie. Like, oh, okay. You should have put right at the beginning of this movie, hey, excuse me, everyone. This is the beginning of a cinematic universe, so be prepared to be as angry as you were at the end of Infinity War, because it was a war that did not go on for infinity. It just suddenly ended, and then we had to wait for an end game when it's just like, you put infinity in the title. You and the never-ending story. Ugh. Lionel Hutz. Lawsuits. So whatever. That guy's clearly evil. Somebody keep an eye out for his evil? No? Alright then. So that at a certain point, he does sabotage somebody. But that somebody escapes. She doesn't get killed, she doesn't get bitten, and she's fighting off the zombies right in front of a dude who's specifically added to the team because he's like a crack shot, trick shot, zombie killing guy. His introduction, his Suicide Squad style introduction was, Pop, check it out. I killed 3 zombies with 1 bullet. There goes 2 zombies with 1 bullet. Oh my god, my greatest friend, the only thing I care about in this world is being attacked by zombies so close. She's still okay. We've dealt with worse. I guess I'll just stare. I'll just stare. What about you, guy who made this happen? And then she's still alive enough, more than alive enough to scream, 1, save me. Hey, jerks, save me. And 2, that guy is trying to kill us, and he tried to kill me, and I'm going to die now. Oh my god, that guy. That guy. Beware, that guy. Nobody's helping nobody. Not even the people that actually like each other. Of course, the last minute before they go on the mission, like, by the way, I'm your daughter who you were estranged from, and I'm coming in on this mission. Nope. Nope. There's no way you're not going to get us all killed. Yeah, but I'm coming because I'm going to rescue people. There's no time. There's no way. There's a billion zombies in there, and we don't know anything about them, but we do know that your friends are dead. And even if they're not, they're dead now. All right? We're bad guys doing a bad thing. You're going to get us all killed. Spoiler alert, she does. Anyway, so that happens where it's just like, no one's going to say anything. They're just going to let that girl die, and they're still not going to suspect anything. That's fine. That's fine. The way the movie is shot, I'm annoyed by, only because it's a thing that I like to do, and I've had people be like, what are you doing? The background's all blurred out. You're crazy. You're crazy. Put things in focus. And I'm like, no, I like it when the foreground person is nice and crisp and the background's all blurred up like crazy. And in this movie, the depth of field is this far. Like, this far. No exaggeration. If somebody is even slightly behind somebody else, they are beyond blurred. I mean, like, you know, close-up shots of Christmas decorations. When the TV would have those things where it's just like, hey, so-and-so at the gas station would like to wish everybody a very happy Christmas. And there's just this super blurred, just incredibly blurred out Christmas light or close-up of a tree. The whole movie's like that. And I wanted to be angry at it, but the anger was jealousy, because I'm like, I want to do things that blurry. And I've been told not to, and now this guy's just like, I got all the power, I get to make whatever I want. Give me your money, Zack Snyder. Give it to me! So, whatever. Some fun action happens. Eventually it's revealed that it is also kind of just boring. Like, really, like, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I did almost stop watching Laser Sharks because I'm just like, I don't know what's happening here. I feel like I should be playing this as a game more than watching it as a movie, because I don't care for what the characters are doing. I would rather, take control myself. So it eventually becomes revealed that Jimmy's dad doesn't care about robbing the money from the safe that the guy didn't tell them how to get. Didn't give them the password to. Also, it's booby trapped. You gonna tell us how to shut that down? No, that's for you guys to figure out. I want you to rob me. He didn't want to rob anybody, so there's a very good chance all these people would have died anyway. 1. 2. What Jimmy's dad actually wanted was to get a piece of zombie, a living zombie head, if you will, to bring back before they nuke all the zombies, so he can still have zombies, and he can be the guy that provides zombies for zombie armies or whatever. Again, stupid motivation. But it seems to me that when Jimmy's dad and the lady that they had kind of guided them in there, when they sneak away from the group, however they did that, to go get his zombie head, then zip right back to where everyone was doing the real heist, they were there and gone. He was supposed to be like 2 hours from where they entered, and they were like, the only way out is there's a helicopter on the top of the building that you're going to rob, and you can take off in that helicopter. Like, all right. Or I'm pretty sure they can come out the way they came in, but I don't know. They were also supposed to steal like billions of dollars or millions and millions of dollars in actual like chunks of money, which would have taken up like 5 helicopters, I'm pretty sure, not 4 duffel bags. So, when Jimmy's dad goes to get the head of the zombie, because there's like a weird hierarchy of like super smart zombies and then regular zombies, and again, the stuff that can't get explained. And I'm kind of fine with that, like have a zombie, monarchy, whatever that is. And I'm fine, you don't have to explain it. But when he finally gets the head and throws it in a bag, they're at the exit. It's just like, that's the set you came in at. Alright, maybe I'm not supposed to recognize it, but that's where you came in. You guys could just leave right now. You don't have to cover anything up. You don't have to worry about, you don't have to think about the other people escaping on the helicopter, but they go back. They go back to the rest of the heist where that doesn't matter, and try to escape. And then the other thing is just like, it seems like it would have been easier to go rob the place and then just leave the way you came in, rather than try to deal with the whole helicopter thing. Bunch of the zombies were hibernating. Again, don't necessarily have a problem with that, other than this movie is a bunch of homages to other movies. That's great. I mean, I'm over here drawing Optimus Prime as an homage to Transformatrons, instead of coming up with my own delightful robot characters, because who cares? Who cares about my delightful robot characters? Who cares about Zack Snyder's delightful characters? Or camera shots, I should say. Progress bar. There we go. Am I... Oh, there we go. What? Am I crazy? Oh, I am crazy. What layer was I working on? So yeah, I assume, like, my first thought was the homage in this part was, oh, this is the Looney Tunes thing where, you know, Bugs or whoever is sneaking through the pile of lions. And again, they did it in Emperor's New Groove, I believe, and mostly children's cartoons that are, you know, all stealing ideas from old Warner Brothers. And it's like, so all the zombies are asleep, and just don't shine a light in their eyes, don't wake them up. And it's like, well, obviously, one of you is gonna wake it up. And they do, and it just seems like... nonsense. I don't even know. Because even at that part... Oh yeah, that was the part too where it's just like, alright, well, we're not gonna stay outside where there's no zombies. We gotta go through the inside of buildings. No, you don't. Just walk to wherever you're going. Kill whatever's in sight. That seems to be your jam. Just do that. No. We're going to go in this building. It's going to be a cluster fun. And then we'll go back outside again. Like, well, again, what was the point of that? Other than if it was a video game, there would have been some sort of barricade forcing you there or invisible wall. But in this case, the invisible wall was, I wrote that they went into a building, so they did. And then they did. Anyway, my two actual biggest problems, which I made a weird little Instagram slash tweet about it, was at one point they're picking off zombies left, right, and center. They're trying to escape. And one zombie clearly is just like, its head goes back, and you can clearly see like there was a metal inside its face, and like blue sparks, and its eyes glowed blue. It's just like, what was that? What was that? And I paused at the first one because I'm like, was that like a die pack or something? I don't know what I just saw. Paused it, back 15, and then it's just like, bing, like, yep, that was definitely like a robot of some kind. Like, I don't understand. And then at least one other person that I noticed, eyes glowing, gets hit back, and there's some sparks and you know, some blueness. And I'm just like, what? Well, this is gonna get crazy, because there's gonna be some sort of, like, you know, robots or whatever. I don't know. Some sort of explanation. And then you watch the whole movie, you get to the end of the movie is over, and then it's just like, excuse me, you just jammed some robots into your zombie movie, and you didn't think I'd care or notice? I mean, you clearly spend all the money on CG and effects and everything, so, you know, if that was a mistake, you definitely should have went back and fixed that. So that, you know, your movie that doesn't have robots makes sense. Is it like a Westworld thing? I don't know. Have to wait until another movie or 6 to find out. And then, of course, the other thing is they see another team that was sent in supposedly to do the same job, and they all died, but they all died in the same spot, a bunch of bodies piled up. And one guy just starts going off. It's just like, oh, like, that's us. That's us. Like, what if we've been doing this over and over, and it's just been, you know, somebody's resetting our timeline, and we just keep doing the thing. And I'm like, that's cool too. All right, let's do that. It's a live, die, repeat. Tom Cruise movie with zombies. Like, yeah, go for it. Go for it. Tell me it's a video game. It's probably a video game. It would make so much more sense if this was a video game or a simulation of some kind. And then they pan over the bodies. And you can see, like, yep, that's the necklace. Necklace? That's the necklace that that lady's wearing. That's the shirt that Tig is wearing. That's, you know, the kerchief that Dave Bautista's wearing. You know, that is them. What what? This is a time loop something or other? And then the movie ends, and there's no time loop something or other. And then, yeah, then you open up, what did I do that for? Then you open up YouTube after the fact, you even start to type in Army of the Dead, and you just get 10,000 videos that are about, hey, let us try to explain it to you. And you click on them, and they don't have an explanation because they're not Zack Snyder. They're just people on the internet that watch the movie like I did and decided, let's figure this out. And then they went through frame by frame and pointed out right at the beginning. I didn't notice, but at the very beginning, before the first zombie busts loose, that there are some lights in the sky. And then they just take off, like, right away. It's just like, oh, there's aliens, there's robots, there's possible time travel. It's got everything. It's got everything. And again, I have no problem with it having everything. But if you're gonna have everything and explain it to me. The Snyder cut of the Justice League, I loved that it was 19 hours long. It told me all the things. I could stop if I wanted, or I could keep going. But this movie was like, now it's over. Good luck finding the rest of the downloadable, playable content to figure out what the rest of this movie's about. And that's when I saw, like, oh, by the way, now there's another movie called The Army of Thieves, and it's got Dieter in it, the safecracker. It's going to be about him. And I'm like, I kind of want to watch this, but now I'm just too angry that if I watch this, there's a very good chance that it will not explain what happened in this movie. It definitely has some stuff that showed, like when people explained it on YouTube, the monitors in the background will show, like, the zombie thing is happening in Las Vegas, but not here in England or wherever he is. Somewhere in Europe, I'm sure. It was like, ugh, no. I'm just gonna watch another 17 hours of Taskmaster and Mock the Week instead. Yeah, apparently it's part of a bigger Netflix cinematic universe of whatever. I'm just getting tired. I'm getting tired of movies that won't end so that because they might have a sequel, or that will have a big, oh, but what about this part? Like, oh, well, that seems like the better story. Let's do that story. Like, no. Maybe someday if somebody wants to give us $1 bajillion, like the other video game movie with Mila Jovovich, the Monster Hunters or whatever it was called, that was like the end of that movie, very much felt like the beginning. Happened now. Credits? Oh, credits. Oh, cool. Just like all of the Resident Evil movies. Hey, oh my god, did you see the end of that last Resident Evil movie? This next one is gonna get crazy. I can't wait to see what... No? We're just ignoring that? Alright, just pretending it's all made by the same guy? And he wanted to keep making these movies so nobody would ruin his movies. That's amazing, because they're all ruined. They're all ruined. Yeah, everybody's so desperate to be a giant Marvel thing, but it's just like, Marvel has 100 years of stories already stocked up. And everybody else is just like, yeah, we'll check it out. We put Tom Cruise in a Mummy movie, and then there's gonna be other monsters eventually. Is there? Is there? Because I doubt there is. Nobody cares. Just make the Monster Squad, and then start skewing out from there after some of or all of the monsters don't get killed by your Monster Squad, and maybe then have them grow up and become oops, what am I doing? More proclaimed actors like It. Here we'll have a bunch of kid actors. They're trying to deal with the monster, and then it's like, hey, now it's John Ritter. Now it's Bill Hader. All growing up and dealing with the same monster. Like, what? Why not? know what? I'll leave the mouthpiece. But again, that's the goal. That's the artist's goal. I think it's always been my artist's goal is, hey, someday I want to be one of those guys. I want to be part of that world where, hey, what'd you do today? Whatever I felt like. Did you finish it? Doesn't matter. I still got paid to do it, and I was still treated like some kind of genius. I should have wrote some things down, because literally I watched some interesting things, like, right before the stream. Forgotten all of them. Except one. One thing was that, pineapples are eating you back. What are you talking about? Every time I eat a pineapple, it eats me a little bit, but since I digest that pineapple, wouldn't whatever it's eaten of me be then re-eaten by me and then put back into my system? Isn't that just a perfect little Mobius loop? No, that's not how the things work. But apparently, pineapples, pinaplepes, have whatever enzymes that break down, like, whatever the skin, the covering in your mouth, and helps it just be more sour. And then also some, as it goes down through your system, it eats away at you a little bit. But then, your own enzymes eat it before it gets too far. But also, it's not necessarily all bad, where it's just like, it's eating you. Because it apparently has the power to, like, like eat bad things in you, or eat the bad parts, and or tell your cells to, like, hey, start fighting things off, and it can be good. And again, all the studies have been on animals, it's said in the little video. So, they're barely substantiated, if you will. Let me see, maybe I did make some notes, but I don't think that I did. Nope. Oops, too far. Oh, and on Friday, where's the layer? There we go. On Friday, I took over the Streamlabs Twitch channel, and we did an emoticon giveaway for people who suggested ideas on Twitter, and as per usual, always super fun. Has to be one of my favorite things to do. To the point where I literally considered, like, should I do that on this stream? People will definitely more people would show up if I was giving away some free art. But in my journey, my efforts become that thing I said earlier where I can just do whatever I want. I'd rather do whatever I want, which is fill some pages to make a book that I can sell, 4 copies of, and still revel in that, because I made a thing. Something about putting a bunch of things into one book that feels real good. But yeah, overall, those streams are super fun. There's usually about 100 or more people in the stream just typing through super fast. Some of the Streamlabs people are kind of moderating and keeping it safe, but for the most part, everybody's like moderating themselves. When somebody asks, hey, what program are you using for the 300th time? Eventually people jump in and just like, hey, it's me, the person who's been talking at you for a while. I'll handle this one. It's Adobe Animate. That's what I thought. It looks like Adobe Animate. And the only, I would say, annoying part is similarly here, like when somebody just jumps in and is just like, hey, what about me though? But what about me? Like, yeah, it's kind of just random. I just pick them at random to whoever gets a free art. 1 and 2. There's only 2 of us. There's just 2 of us doing this, and we're just trying to do as many as we can by the end of the day, and just have fun with it. Just to give stuff away. It feels great to give. But then yeah, some people just like really will bring you down. It's just like, oh, there's no way. I didn't get picked last time. I won't get picked this time. I just know it. Like, well, part of me kind of wants to not pick you just out of spite now. But I, for the most part, just scroll up and down. I don't look, and then I'll stop on one, and then usually that's the one I pick. Unless my only real parameters are, is it A, something I don't understand, or in the context of an emoticon, or even a logo, is it recklessly too complicated? Like, I can't remember, one was just like, all right, I was like, I want my, my character, like, let's say whatever, it's like my little cat character, I want him slamming his hammer down like Thor, and then lightning coming out of that, and then also, you can see a plane coming into the background. Like, this is gonna be a postage stamp. Like, no. No, you've described a movie, not one tiny little picture. Like, no. Please give me something that has a face where I can just draw a face or an object, right? And of course, the other one is, hey, my favorite Pokemon is Snorlax. Draw me a Snorlax. No. No. I don't work in Nintendo. You don't work in Nintendo, so you don't get to have Snorlax. Because that's not yours. You want me to draw a picture of your cat? Or you? Or something you just thought of? Like, sure. But I'm not stealing for you. And also, if you want to use a Snorlax emoticon, you can just go... I really don't like these little notches in the helmet. You could just go grab one. Like, if you're cool with stealing, then just go steal. Don't make me do custom stealing for you. And I mean, sometimes, like, I still will do stuff that is licensed, but, a weird chibi version or just some sort of alternate version. Like one that I did on Friday. I already picked it before I realized what it meant. Oh, why are you doing this? But it was like Cloud shaking his fist at the clouds or whatever. And it was Cloud from Final Fantasy. I'm like, I should have realized that before I picked it, but whatever. I'm just gonna draw something like that. Anyway, you're not getting a full-on model Cloud. Because that's stealing. And it's a tiny emoticon, so I've just got him just like shaking his fist. And then it's like, that's it. The whole square is filled now. There's no room to put a cloud in here. And if I do, it's just going to muddy up the whole thing. And you're not going to know. You're not going to know that's what's happening. So I've just got him waving his hand in the air like Grandpa Simpson. But the other thing that's fun, interesting, weird about doing the Streamlabs stream is I can't just go railing on about things that upset me or that I think are weird, because I don't know who we're partnered with. I don't know who our sponsors are, or not necessarily sponsors, but who we're sponsoring or are partnered with, I guess. So you really don't want to. You really don't want to just go off on Drake and how he is the worst, or whatever. Big companies are just like, hey, here's what's wrong with this Netflix show. Like, we're doing stuff with Netflix all the time. Like, you sure are. That's what I've been doing most of this week and most of last week, was some stuff for a Netflix show, and I didn't even realize it was that. I thought it was just a game, but it was a Netflix show for their stream. Sent off some more today. Hopefully it will be approved. So anyway, I don't want to go, you don't want to go taking poops on the hands that feed you. And that's exactly how that saying goes. So, because I also can't just sit quietly while there's a camera and microphone on me, that doesn't make any sense. Why am I there then? Just to draw? No. Noises must be made. They must be made. So they also are just like, well, make sure to keep playing music the whole time. Like, all right, that's no problem. So it's about 1,000% more random songs than this stream. I mean, excuse me. Like, this one used to be a lot more random songs. But I have too much to say, so I'm too busy ranting about things. And make up random nonsense songs. And also, if somebody says something in the chat that I just don't want to deal with or talk about or think about, I'll look at somebody else's name that is followed or subscribed or cheered or done something. That's the other thing is like, oh yeah, that's why. So normally, songs I am I can't think of the word. Involuntary. I involuntarily, like a reflex, if a name pops up on the screen and there's a new follower or a new person chatting, then yeah, I gotta take that name and I gotta make a song out of it. I just have to. I don't want to. I have to. It's just the code of silence. The code that there can be no silence. And since that doesn't happen in this stream ever, nobody gets any random songs. Because I've already sung 65,000 songs about Space Goonie and Pat Prue 101. There's definitely been some Laser Sharks rhymes. And of course, I've rhymed avocado shake with Drake and vice versa a million times. A million times! Hey bros, what if I had a song? I never sing a song. Sometimes Milo sings. Sometimes Ripley sings a song. And I'm over here. Now I've got a lot of Beach Boys. They're just pent up and ready to go, guys. You know? You get good vibrations? So you giving me good vibrations? Something about that car with the wood on the side? No, I am the one who things. I have all of the thogs, and my thogs can't go wrong. I've got the rhymes, I've got the time. Something about ham on sandwiches and on rye. Oh, that's not a good rhyme, but you know, don't cry. Meow, 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 meow. Guys, not what I was talking about. Not what I was talking about at all. Everybody, I have injected Milo does come over to the Streamlabs stream now, so while I have Kevin the logo up here, occasionally Milo gets upset and I'm just like, it's Ted's time, or not Ted's time, it's Kevin's time now, not yours. Oops, I don't know what I did here. There we go. And that is fun for me. That is fun for me. But yeah, for the most part, it's like every time a new name pops up, I try to do some rhymes. And occasionally, the people watching are just like, oh, those bars. Like, what? Don't say that. These are not good bars. I'm not a good rapping machine. These are lackluster at best. But it does, oh my god, does it ever, fill you with confidence energon cubes that you should not be filled with. And by you, I mean me. And I'm just like, oh, okay, let's do 12 more of these. And then the boss, the guy who like runs the company, is like, I enjoy this content. More, please. Like, what's going on? I'm over here on the stream saying, please don't fire me for the things I just said, and they're just like, sing some more songs, you're crazy. Like, if there's people who work in the studio who actually can sing, who have real bands, who play instruments. I'm just a weirdo trying to take over the internet. Slowly. Very slowly. My chest is shiny because it's Windows. It's like 95 up in here. Oh, Windows 95. Yeah, I feel really bad for the people that are just like, oh, I'm a new streamer. I've been doing this for like weeks now or months now. Like, oh, I could really use some free emotes and artwork. Oh, poor me. Duh. And I so badly want to just be like, seriously? Seriously? Like, yeah. That's the way it goes. There's a billion people out here. Like, I'm still nobody doing this thing. Is like the only reason you're here is because I'm giving free stuff away. And because a big giant company is playing the stream. But beyond that, you're not gonna come to my stream to watch me draw pictures. You just want free stuff. So for as bad as you feel about getting picked, I'm extra not getting picked over here because you're picking me. Yeah, I love this. This is my favorite art. Anyway, see you never, baby. See you never. Like, oh, I thought I'd see you again. Nope. Like, all right, you come into this stream and cry. I'll go over to my stream later and then I'll cry. And exactly, Miles. That was the whole reason. Like, I still live by the Rob Zombie philosophy, which is, why would you have a band if you don't want to make album covers, if you don't want to make posters, if you don't want to write the songs, if you don't want to be the performer? Why do you have a band then? Like, Rob Zombie does all the things. Because why wouldn't you? Like, the amount of years of my life where I'm like, I want a skateboard. I want to get a skateboard. I want to learn to skateboard. Why? Because I want to paint my skateboard. I don't want a skateboard. It's dangerous and scary. I don't have the balance for that. But I want to paint skateboards. But I don't know how. I'm not going to go ruining somebody else's skateboard. That's nuts. So I never, ever painted a skateboard. There was supposed to be one of those art shows where somebody was like, hey, for the first time ever, I'm going to think of asking you to join in this art show where we're going to paint on skateboards for charity or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, I've always wanted to do one of those. Well, cool, we'll call you. And then they didn't. And then they had another art show. Hey, it's you. Yeah, it's me. We're going to have another art show. Awesome, let me know what it is. And then they didn't call me. And then they put out a calendar. Hey, check it out for the holidays. We'll put out a calendar. It's already out now. So clearly we didn't call you. All right, you're not my friend anymore then. This isn't cool. Thought I joined a little art consortium. Exactly, slamming in the back of a Dragula. And then, of course, some people will say something like, excuse me, sir, could you do me a favor and speak Japanese? No, I can't, Jonathan. I don't know what would lead you to think that I could speak any Japanese. I'm drawing a transformer? I'm not drawing it well. I'd be tempted to say something like arigato, but I am not sure if that's Japanese at all. Don't know any of the words. I don't know what to do with that request. But I do my best. Try to accommodate? Try to accommodate as many as I can. Next up, we got Stereophonic by Harris Heller, playing on the Pretzel Network. It's also weird, this last stream, yeah, I can't listen to any music I would actually listen to. The only real downside of streaming my work is I was supposed to do it one day and then it was just like, oh, we're not going to do it today. Like, oh, good, because I'd kind of rather just listen to whatever I want and not have to specifically find, listen to Pretzel or whatever, which is just free to use, non-licensed, whatever. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. I say that as if some noise just happened to alert me to it. I could have been the one to say, hey, don't forget about that thing. Remember how you're a winner in Subway last week? You're like, technically, won something? Technically, some kind of award-winning animator over here. I mean, I guarantee, like, a lot of the stuff that I do, it does well. You know, like I said, I make merchandise for people who sell all kinds of merchandise, even though I don't sell all kinds of merchandise. I animate on things that people think are amazing. Sometimes they know I exist. But yeah, that film I mentioned a while ago that I animated for Tara, the I Am the Warrior, about residential schools. I'm not sure. I know it's out to other things where she can't talk about yet. But at least at the Silver Wave Film Festival in New Brunswick there, it's like it's up for, or it did win, like, you know, best animated film. And magically, like, this never happens. This never happens other than when I do stuff for Tara. She usually has me at the event to present whatever it is, and or just to say thank you. And she specifically in her video is just like, hey, and Curtis animated this whole thing by himself. And then in Indigo Poirier, probably saying that wrong, I already forget, did the music and stuff. And it's just like, oh wow, like, not only is it like an award-winning thing, some credit, like, treated like I actually exist in the making of this thing. And that's rare. That's a rare thing. It's a rare condition in this day and age to get any recognition on the animation stage. Read any good book. I don't remember the rest of the words to that song. But my own eyes darting back and forth did remind me of something from earlier. I was at the grocery store. And it's that time of the year again when the Salvation Army and what have you are collecting money and giving out little tiny flowers with knives on them and calling it Remembrance Day. So on my way out of the grocery store, there's a guy in a wheelchair in front of me, wheeling himself out. And he's between me and the guy at the table, a little table, waiting to, take people's money and possibly give them poppies. I'm pretty sure that's what he was there for. I was a little too preoccupied by his eyes because, I catch myself trying to make sure I'm aware of the fact that, oh yeah, remember, like, you're not wearing your tinted sunglasses today, or / the mask only comes up as far as your nose, so don't go making weird facial expressions that your eyes will also show. So, I mean, again, I'm terrible for if somebody's walking by or somebody's talking to me and I don't want to talk to them anymore, or I'm just like, please don't. And under the mask, I'm just going, well, maybe not shaking my head, but just freaking out mouth-wise, because it's like, you can't see this, and even if the mask is moving, it doesn't matter. But just make sure, trying my best to make sure that my eyes are staying not crazy. But for some weird reason, dude at the table this time, he was like looking at the guy in the wheelchair, he was looking at me, and I don't know. I genuinely I can't come up with any reason why he was Ernest P. Worreling me, or well, the guy that's always in the Ernest movies that's like darting his eyes back and forth. If you're here for some current references, there's one right there. But he was like, you know, since he had a mask to here, and somehow like I feel like, I don't know, the head ratio, maybe because he didn't have hair, it just seemed like it was just all eyes here, and there was no hair to distract from them. There was nothing there. It was just, here's a little display area for my eyes. And his eyes were just, as we were coming towards him or whatever, and I'm just like trying to keep my distance from the guy in front of me, trying to not make eye contact with the poppy guy, because I'm not giving you money, and I don't want any pins. I just want to go home right now. I hate being out in the world. But yeah, for some weird reason, his eyes were... like, just fully just, like, darting back, like, just wide-eyed, looking at me, looking at the other guy, looking at me, looking at the other guy, and then still just like, whoa, like, we have got to be the, I don't know, 500th person to pass you in the last few hours, however long you've been here. Have you been doing this to everybody that passes by? Because this seems really confusing and awkward. But just super bugged out. I mean, as I came around, like, I could see him at first, and he wasn't freaked out, but as we got closer, it was just like, ah! And I guess, if I want to speculate... Oh, and you always want to speculate. Oh my god, you're practically a gynecologist over there with your speculum. That is not what that is. If I was to speculate, part of me thinks that is what I do, like, at conventions, when I was at the market, and especially the time my cousin's husband was like, hey, I gotta go run an errand, you watch the corner store. Like, I don't know how to use the register. Hey, remember how I showed you how to use the register and the debit machine? Like, kind of, but not really. Anyway, I'll be back. Guess I'm watching the store. Hopefully nobody comes in, and if they do, hopefully they know how to work a cash register? Or the debit machine I could do, because it was just put the amount in and whatever. I don't know, there was something I couldn't do. And I had never done before. But he did show me at some point. But I didn't think it was information I was gonna have to use. So yeah, eventually somebody came in, and I was literally just like, I'm sure he'll be back. Like, oh, like, and I mean, just watching them go around the store, my eyes just, you know, exploded into my head. Just looking around, like, what do I do? And I can't at all remember what happened. But I do know I did serve at least one, if not two people that night, and I can't for the life of me remember how that played out, because I'm also terrible at math. I know with at least one of them, I was like, all right, let me do the math on this. So you're going to give me this much, so I'm going to give you this much back? And they were like, nope, like, thank you. You're probably going to want the correct change. And, you know, it's like our local corner store, so it wasn't so crazy. You know, I didn't necessarily recognize the people that came in, but it's just like, I know you're from the area. It's me. Hey, it's Curtis. It's Ernie's kid. Give me a break over here. And then same deal at the market or at a comic convention. If I've got a stack of artwork and books and someone's looking around at them, I know that they're not going to buy anything. Or slash, I can hear you from here, guys, and you're talking about the things that I've drawn, and, you know, either going like, this is crazy, who would do this, what kind of crazy person, like, I'm right here, but instead I'm just like, crazy eyes. But I don't know what the craziness of that situation was at the grocery store, other than, oh my god, you're walking close to a guy in a wheelchair. What if you catch it? Like, that's not how that works. This isn't a... Anyway. Alright, I'll add words to this later, even though I have some written down, because I thought of this a little while ago. And I think it might need more panels, but maybe not. But the basic gist is, he takes off, I think he might say like, ooh, it's hot today. And then Miles like, oh my god, that was a helmet this whole time? I thought it was part of your head. And then Optimus is gonna be like, no, it's just a hat. My friend, I forget what name I wrote in there, but a hilarious name like Greg or Jeff. That's what it was. I think it was like, oh, it's just a hat. My friend Jeff gave it to me. And Miles was like, Jeff? Jeff the Transformer? Like, yeah. He transforms into a hammock or something like that. So that's where I might need another panel or not. But it's just making Optimus look silly. Just silly, fun, silly times. Robots in the hats. Autobots wage their battle to defeat the evil forces of the Decepticons. I just thought of another thing. There it is. To be enraged about. So last stream, not last week, 2 streams ago, we did this. So in this last comic strip, I'm all, hey, it's Halloween. You're always in costume. Why aren't you wearing a costume? And he's like, I am wearing a costume. And I'm just like, it's just a name tag of your own name. And he's all like, you know how people love those serial killers? I'm just my own serial killer. Then like a week later, Fairbairn Films, who I've talked to, like, those guys are the funniest kids on the internet. They're so good. Australia is the best, just full of the best people. So they did a video that was this. It was basically this. Where they're like, what's your costume? It's just like, except in his version, he was going to actually kill somebody so that when he shows up at the party, they'll be like, oh my god, you're dressed up as that guy. And it's like, yeah, but I am actually that serial killer. And I'm like, this is my comic strip. I just did this. And then at the same time, like, or a day later, I watched a Game Grumps where they talked about, hey, remember how I made this joke? Well, then the Family Guy did the exact same joke, and I'm just gonna take it as, like, I doubt they stole it. Same with this. There's no way they saw what I did and were like, we're taking that idea. But it's just like, all right, if I'm on par with somebody who I think is hilarious, then I am. So I decided to take it that way instead of going, hey guys, I know you didn't steal my idea, but tell people I'm awesome. You have 1 million followers and I have 52 on YouTube anyway. 51? 49? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But I think that's all we got for tonight. Hell Scott. Use me. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock now. I've got work to do tomorrow. There's a couple streamers out there that we're trying to revamp their merch stores, and in an effort to do that, the plan is basically, hey, they don't have any ideas for what they want. You come up with ideas? Like, okay. So I just did just a pile of random designs. At least one of them had a logo, so I just kind of made a bunch of variations of that. Sent it over, and they were like, yeah, we love it. Just none of your color choices. We prefer no color, just black and white or gray. And I'm like, awesome. That's what I was going to do. I also enjoy that. So I'll do that tomorrow. And then somebody else, I did a bunch of weird stuff for them. Don't know what they'll have to say about it, but either way, it was a fun day. It's fun to make stuff, and tomorrow, do more of the same, and then whatever else gets thrown on the list. But mostly, those weird moments, those precious magical moments when somebody says, "Hey, your random idea, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna put it in the store. We're gonna sell this thing. Great." And what about me? You will never be mentioned ever again. Not even right now. We don't know who you are. You're just the artist. Like, okay, good. Talk to you never, of course. But again, like, there are streams I don't watch, playing games I don't care for. So that's fine. That's fine. That is, the best part of my week are the giveaway days. I mean, every day is a giveaway day at my job. But those days when it is just like, here's some random streamers that are just asking. Some of them have, like 2 followers. They have nothing. And it's just like my pleasure to just be like, here's an emote, here's a logo. And when they love it, they love it. And it's great. Then they can't give me revisions. Look, could you change this? No. On to the next one. It was a giveaway. You get what I give away. That's it. It's my fun time that you get to, the side effect is some people get free art. Kind of how they requested it. And that's just the funnest. And then on my stream, I draw what I want. And today, that was an Optimus Prime taking off his helmet and revealing his weird head. I kind of want to make it weirder, but I also don't, because, laziness, etc. But other than that, Laser Sharks was wearing her It's Cool to Be Sad shirt today. I don't have any images of it to drag it in here. Do I have any Cool to Be Sad shirts? Maybe in the shirts folder. Going on the shirts folder. Taking too long to import. It's a giant file. Oh, yeah, I do have a picture on my phone. Oh my god, how big is this file? It's taking all my life to import. I'm just gonna hold up a picture of Laser Sharks, barely with their permission. Undo. Level 3. So, that is the little It's Cool to Be Sad logo. That is the wrong application. phone. Shh. Focus. There it is. There's Laser Sharks in our Cool to Be Sad shirt. Because it's cool. It's cool to let people know when you're sad. And then, like I always say, there's more than that in the store. There's some kitten and cat-based shirts. David Bowie cats. Something about robot tests. And, of course, everything is at MrCartoons.com. Where there's also books. So there is another comic book already. Like a 70-page, 75-page book of me and Milo. And some poetry stuff. And, of course, Sexy Dinosaurs. If any of the non-core 4 that are in the watching numbers up there came here because on the other stream I was talking about Sexy Dinosaurs, there are 2 books of Sexy Dinosaurs called the Sexy Books of Sexy Dinosaurs 1 and 2 in my store at MrCartoons.com. So go get them there, and someday maybe we'll draw some more Sexy Dinosaurs here. I don't know what that word means, Avocado Shake. Plateus? Platius. Oh, as in platypus? Plateus the platypus, he knows us, he's here to discuss all of the things that we need to know about being sad and doing blow. What? That's what platypuses are all about. Platypi? Platypia. But yeah, that's about it. That's 9 minutes of random vamping for no reason whatsoever. Maybe just press the outro button, then you could just, like, you know, do this ramble over the outro thing, and then it actually shows the link to the place instead of just saying it, because, you know, it's just better that way. It is. It is. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out once again. Talk at you more next week, and random Fridays, and possibly tomorrow at around 7:30. Or not. I don't know. Probably do another podcast with Tara here, and maybe talk more about winning awards through filmmaking. That is all. Can't find the outro. Where is it? Oh, it's called credits. That's why. Avocado Shake, Pat Prue and Jake, Drake, Laser Sharks, Base Goonie and Miles, probably some Mercs. Jonathan.